I got the similar one.
Oh, I got it down here.
Dude, we're all rocking out the same Quad X. Yeah. Tyler,
and if you were in your office, it would literally be like
the same one. I know. My poor wife. I'm like, set me up.
All right. All right, Joe, we got the dudes from Needlessly Nostalgia. Give me that fucking countdown, dude.
In 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Get over here! Hi, I'm martial art master Daniel Casino. You know me as the original Johnny Cage, Scorpion, Sub-Zero, Reptile, and Smoke. You are tuning in to NerdCage Live on YouTube, Twitter, Twitch. Don't miss an episode or you'll get caged. So let's finish him.
This is Anthony Marquez, better known as Kung Lao for Mortal Kombat. Make sure to like and subscribe to NerdCage Live. Be there. Us.
Hey everybody, this is Dave Nebor from Dog Eat Dog, and you're watching NerdCage Live. So like, share, and subscribe to this channel. These are great guys doing what they love to do.
NerdCage Live and gaming are a perfect match!
Shoot the J, Joe! Okay. Shoot it!
Alright!
Over on NerdCage Live on Twitch, Jay and Joe go live.
Call me Bazooka Joe.
It's all about you.
Kaboom!
Playing both old school and new school games every Tuesday night. Ooh, what a sight!
Jay, stop looking at her face and run.
But she's so beautiful!
So be sure to follow NerdCage Live on Twitch.
Run for your life, Joe! Run for your life, Joe!
Running!
Run faster! Oh no, Joe! The galaxy's doomed because of you!
To scratch your gaming itch.
Oh, nice kick, Joe!
Thank you.
Yo! That's f***ing diabolical! Wait. Yo!
That's twitch.tv/NerdCageLive.
Hi, I'm Leah Montalongo, the OG Sindel. Please like, subscribe to NerdCage Live.
This is Ernie C. from Body Count. You're tuned in to NerdCage. Can you like and subscribe?
Hey guys, it's the original Shao Kahn, Brian Glenn, and I'd like you to subscribe to NerdCage Live.
It has begun!
If what you say is true, the Shaolin
And the NerdCage
could be dangerous.
Greetings, citizens. You're now trapped in a NerdCage. We hope you have a smashing good time.
You're now about to witness the strength of geek knowledge. Hello, welcome. That's right. Once again, you are trapped in NerdCage Live. This channel is a celebration of all things pop culture. So if you are new to the channel, please hit that like button and subscribe. Share it with everybody you know. Help us get to 4,000 subscribers. We're almost there. And I'm your co-host, Jay St. G, certified geek, 7 days a week, coming to you live from yours truly, the land of the orange, the land of Tom Cruise, the land of Earth Crisis, the land of Anthrax of Syracuse, New York. And always among us, it's our moderator and troll hammer, stronger than the DK Banana Slammer. You can't stop it, you can't cop it, you can't top it. Like a B-52 bomber, he's gonna drop it. Is Joe of FallenOne Gaming. Please introduce these handsome fucks that have invaded the stream tonight.
Yes, tonight we have Tyler Nichols and Lance Vlcek from their podcast, Needlessly Nostalgic. How are you fellas doing?
Good to see you guys. Not too bad. How are you?
We're doing great. We're doing great. Joe, before we go any further, who we got in the chat tonight?
Chat tonight, we have a ton of lurkers. I'm sure our regulars are right on the way, so don't be afraid to speak up.
Yes. All right, before we get started, of course, if you haven't already, get yourself a NerdCage Live t-shirt like the one that Tyler's wearing, like the one Joe was wearing. And again, any size, any color, whether you're a skinny booty color or a fat fuck, big or small, we love them all. Whether you're a small or 5XL, we got you covered. We even have magnets, tote bags, pillows, hoodies, you name it, all sorts of great designs. Like this one here is our top selling shirt with the Strength of Geek Knowledge on the back. As Joe calls this, the one-handed shirt, the Dreamcast design, and of course, we're MCU fans over here, so get the MCU shirt. We're huge Rocky fans. We got the Rocky 3 design and the Rocky 4 design. Speaking of Rocky, we will have announcements for that pretty soon. Joe's favorite game of all time, The Legend of Zelda. He just loves Zelda so much. We have Mortal Kombat designs. As you can see, the arcade marquee here. Mortal Kombat 1 Fatality. Mortal Kombat 2 Fatality. Mortal Kombat 3 Fatality. And of course, I said any size, any color. Don't tell the RZA, we got the Wu-Tang design. And the PlayStation design. More designs on the way. So yeah, we got you covered. You know, if you wear the shirt and you're hard for more than 4 hours, call the doctor, all right? So, and Joe, our TeePublic is found in all the links and all the description of all of our videos and across social media. And speaking of social media,
yes, if you want to get us on Twitter or Instagram, both handles are @nerd_cage. Our link to our Discord is in the description. Become a member there as well. And our Facebook discussion group, that is NerdCage Nation. We love everything you guys put up there. No spoilers, no politics, and for God's sakes, keep it civil.
and of course we have some upcoming shows real quick. We'll pounce right through them. So Joe, if you haven't already, Apes.
Yes, check out our Kingdom of the Planet of the Apes spoiler discussion.
Tyler was there, and of course our latest video, Joe.
Yes, our food review for the Star Wars Blue Milk from True Mode.
And then Joe, we're gonna go Sunday afternoon on Twitch.
Yes, Jay is going to do a challenge run for Super Metroid.
Yes, no deaths, no saves under 3 hours. I think I can do it, one sitting. And of course, Joe, tentatively Tuesday.
Yes, more Bayonetta 2.
Yes, we're on Chapter 10. And then finally, Joe, we have a show coming up Thursday, but I don't have a thumbnail ready, but Friday, Joe.
Friday, we will be doing Super Smash Bros. Brawl, the Subspace Emissary Story Mode.
Yes, so that should be a lot of fucking fun. I'm looking forward to that. All right, so, as we just said, we have the gentleman from Needlessly Nostalgic, and of course, I know these guys through JoBLo.com, which I'm a proud editor of that
Yep, your mic turned off.
The mic is shivering.
That's okay. We can vamp while you're doing that, because thankfully, one thing about your mic is that you can see the light will turn on when it's actually back on, so we will know when you're actually good to talk again. Oh, you almost had it there. I saw it click.
I'm going to say I would like a Dreamcast shirt. I didn't know we were doing those. I'm 100% in. I would be wearing it.
That's our newest one.
Dude, don't worry. I will be getting one. I can't open it, but
he's back.
But yeah. So I was just going to say, I know these guys through JoBLo, but I wanted to give these guys the floor. Whoever wants to go to explain their needlessly nostalgic, what it is, what it's all about, where they can find. By the way, the links are in the description. So whoever wants to go, don't matter to me. Whoever wants to go off on what
Tyler, please.
Is.
Yeah, I see I'm being given the baton. So yeah, this is Needlessly Nostalgic is a podcast that Lance and I do. It's every Friday, 8 a.m. Episodes release on every single podcast platform that you can think of: Spotify, Amazon Music, Apple Music, Apple Podcasts. Literally, it's everywhere. So very easy to find, just wherever you like listening to podcasts. Go on there and check it out. We talk about various movie franchises. We technically are a horror movie podcast, but not. I mean, we're covering all sorts of things. We first covered the Friday the 13th franchise, but now we are doing the John Carpenter filmography. I don't know why I call it filmography, but it's that, and it's called the John Carpenter Extravaganza. We are like 5 episodes into that at this point. Yes. I think tomorrow our Escape from LA episode airs, and it's been an absolute blast. It's pretty much the highlight of my week, being able to get together with Lance and just talk about movies, because like the Friday the 13th podcast, we're getting out of control. I think one of them clocks in at like 2 hours and 35 minutes. So we definitely can, once we start talking, we can really get on a roll, and it's a lot of fun. So we've had a lot of good feedback from people, and people seem to really enjoy it. So hopefully we can just keep that train moving. And now Lance can take the baton.
Well, I was going to say, back in the day, maybe a year or two ago, Tyler and I, for obviously JoBLo, had a channel that we're on called There on the Head Show. And, I worked with Mr. John Fallon, The Arrow. Tyler had his own show on Mondays. But the cool thing is that we would always kind of cross over here and there. And, at times me and Tyler would, do Monday Horror Madness. I don't know what it's called. It was a long name.
Modern Horror Movie Talk.
Hey, long fucking name. It's a long name. But, we would talk and chatted, and, we got along really well. So when that eventually ended, we had the mics, we had the equipment, and we kind of talked. We're like, this is fun. We have a good vibe. We get along, and I think it's important if you could get into a heated argument, with somebody that you could actually still be friends with. I think that's like a true connection. That's chemistry. I could be like, no, you're wrong. And Tyler's like, no, dude, you're out of your mind. You're out of your mind. We could have that back and forth. And so we're like, hey, let's just do audio. Let's try a podcast and just have fun. Because we vibed out before, and we continued on. So it's actually great. It's very loose. It's very relaxing, and it's kind of thing that I agree. It's like the highlight of my week. It's therapy. It's like, okay, let's watch a movie. I'm going to complain about this. Tyler's going to argue against me. We're going to the friends we made along the way. At the very end, it's like, oh, that'll do, sir. That'll do.
I would make the argument that the episodes where we are at each other's throats are the most entertaining because of the fact that we respect each other so much. So we know how hard we can push each other in terms of just like, well, I mean, but fuck you. But that's a stupid thing to say, which you can't just say to anyone. So those are the most fun, which, not to spoil, and this will just tease our episode for tomorrow, Escape from LA. Lance really fucking hates that movie, and I found some odd enjoyment out of its dumbness. So the whole time, it's just Lance being very upset with me at the fact that I like stuff like the surfing scene.
Oh, yeah, God, dude, that's the worst part.
Yes. He pops up and fucking, what's his name? Loses his card, 3 boards.
So dumb. That's why it's so great.
And I don't know if you guys know this. He hated vampires, but loved Escape from LA. Explain that.
Whoa. No. That is not true. I love Ghosts of Mars. I thought Escape from LA was mid. I gave it 1.5 stars.
Guys, watch the episode. He's sitting there just loving it. It's fantastic, having a good time.
They can't watch it. We're an audio podcast.
You can hit play.
Listen when it drops. By the way, again, links are in the description. Every audio, like Amazon, Spotify, all that, link is in the description. So subscribe, add it to your podcast playlist, whatever you got to do. So I got a question for both of you guys. Who came up with the name, and why'd you come up with the name? Needlessly Nostalgic.
I have had the name Needlessly Nostalgic in my head for years and years. It's just a name that's always stuck out with me. And so then when Lance and I were talking about this, I was like, we need a name. So I gave Lance a list of 20 names, and I think you might have said 2 that you liked, and one of them was Needlessly Nostalgic, which was the one I wanted. So as soon as he even said it, I was like, yep, yes, 100%. I want that. Absolutely.
Yeah, it rolls
then
up
it doesn't. Yeah, it rolls. It's the alliteration, but then it also doesn't pigeonhole us into one specific thing. We can be nostalgic about anything. So it's like that's the thing I like the most, because we plan on eventually we're gonna cover some Mike Flanagan TV shows. It's like I
was gonna ask if TV shows and stuff, outside of movies, like TV shows and comics or anything else, was that gonna be part of the show eventually?
Lance can answer this.
Yeah, no, I think Tyler and I agree. It's something that we have to kind of both be on the same page for, because it's going to be such a long, very sort of specific process. So I don't think it'd be everything, but absolutely, like Midnight Mass will be on there for sure. We've talked some about Ash vs. Evil Dead, of course. We're both big Evil Dead fans, stuff like that. I'm pitching for Waterworld. Also, Tyler ran his mouth about how he didn't like Lethal Weapon 4, so we got to have Lethal Weapon 1 now. That's really what this is born out of. It's just I mean, obviously we never talked about this, but there was that YouTube show about Mortal Kombat thing that we're on, NerdCage Live.
And you're not
they're big fans of it.
Locked into a certain type of media either. I mean, further down the line, you can branch into music, video games, anything. You'd be nostalgic about whatever you want.
And Tyler and I have similar enough tastes where I think that there's a good round table of ideas that were quirky and different enough where I think they would make for entertaining talks. Because, like you said, for the most part, I think I know the guy, and then he comes and says that he loves Escape from LA. Yep. Love Ghosts of Mars. I don't know this guy. It's fantastic.
But what I appreciate too is that the well will never run dry. You guys have a podcast that will just keep on going. There will be plenty of nostalgic 80s and 90s movies and TV and media that you guys can cover. So that's the one thing I appreciate. Whereas there's plenty of room for content.
Yeah. Yep, which I think is pretty essential for anything in terms of just making sure you don't limit yourself immediately of oh, we're only doing horror franchises, we're only doing this, only doing that. Because I mean that's tough, because Lance and I have discussed it where it's hard when you're like, oh, want to do the Hellraiser series or the Texas Chainsaw Massacre series, where it's like, oh my God, 3 months of just really depressing, hellish stuff or that kind of thing. Then you're like, I don't want it. Or if we are going to do that, it's like, well, maybe we do the Lethal Weapon movies right before that. That way we can, lighten things up. Or we do a special episode in the middle where it's a Waterworld, Waterworld extravaganza. Or One thing I'll tell you right now, and it's something I just realized, Lance and I will 100% have a theme park episode because Lance has some amazing opinions on Hollywood studios that I feel like need to be immortalized.
I'm sorry. Yeah, no.
MGM Studios.
Yeah, MGM Studios. MGM Studios. If I could call it Hollywood Studios. Have the most corporate talk. We getting paid by Disney? Come on, man. It'll always be MGM Studios. The great movie ride. If I could take my hat off and then lay it down, if I could give a little bit of, if I had a 40, I guess I'm in the generation that had the wide mouth King Cobras. I'm pouring out right now for the great movie ride.
Yeah.
But yeah, Tyler, you love adrenaline as well, so I would always be down. And I'm also super opinionated about the most specific stuff. It's like Star Tours. Let's talk about Star Tours.
And I got another question. You guys have a pretty dope opening theme, so let's talk about that. How did that come to be?
So I got a buddy, old friend, basically family at this point, Jeff Capecci. He's another Southside Chicagoan. He's a music guy, from keyboard, drums, bass, guitar, singing, composition. So I reached out to him. I was like, hey, my buddy and I are starting a podcast. I need something synthy, something Carpenter-esque to kind of open the show. Would you mind making it for us? I go, don't worry, I won't pay you. I'll offer you nothing. Just as a favor, one way. And he was, my friend's a great guy, so he's like, of course. And the irony is, he sent it and then immediately apologized. He's like, hey, listen, man, I just want you to know, I know you want a Carpenter. This isn't Carpenter. I'm so sorry. I just kind of was vibing this style and I went for it. And, I can't create anything even close to this. I was like, you're adorable. You're apologizing for something that if I made, I would brag and show everybody I love. So it was born from that.
It's so good.
Yeah. Just exactly.
Well, and I should say too, he did my awfully good theme that's on JoBLo horror, and then he's done some of your themes as well, right?
Yeah, I usually use a song or two of his in the ending of my videos. For instance, my video went up today of Island of Dr. Monroe. He does the ending song, and I always comments like, "Where can I download the song?" It's like it doesn't exist anywhere. He just made it and was like, "Hey, use it, have a fun time." So. We got lucky.
Excellent.
It's amazing music.
I definitely like it. It's very I don't know, I wouldn't call it soothing, but it's like, I don't know, I guess it's soothing. I don't know how else to put it.
I've had it stuck in my head so many different times because I gotta put that dang thing on the end and beginning and end of these episodes, so I hear it because you also have to get it aligned perfectly because there's a certain spot that I like it to come in, and so then it's just you hear it so many different times. So then anytime after I edit an episode, I'm always like. I'm
not gonna lie though, when I first heard it, I thought it was AI generated. The fact that you got someone to compose it, it's just.
I would never. I promise you, I'm a music guy. I always have been. I'm not in my normal office. I was going to point to something. I realized there's a moon behind me. Where am I? But no, man. I got enough friends I could reach out to make free music. Eventually, someday I'm gonna have to start giving them something. So I got to figure out how that two-way street's going to work. But until it happens, I'm just going to be hey, we're old friends. Help me out here, A little something.
And I asked this question off air, but I'm going to ask it on air now. Is there going to be Needlessly Nostalgic merch on the way?
Absolutely, there will be. That was one of the reasons for the name as well, because Needlessly Nostalgic, feel like people can just see that on a website, then they don't need to know, oh, that's from the podcast. They can just think, that looks cool. I'm needlessly nostalgic, that kind of thing. So then we can. The whole point of it was that yes, people that listen to the podcast and can get it, but it's not too branded where then anyone can get it and wear it. Because I'm a big WWE fan, and one thing with WWE stuff is all their merch is super unwearable and ugly. So. It's I want everything that we do to be wearable and just look like this, your fantastic NerdCage Live, where it's yes, it looks like just a Godzilla shirt. I like that. I want something simplified where then it's not too insane. But no, we will absolutely be doing that. There will probably be something teased. We'll end up wearing stuff before it actually goes up, but just because I have some ideas that Lance doesn't quite know about yet.
Same thing here. I when we start our merch, and we I said we went through TeePublic. I was like, let me just buy a few for myself and make sure that they look good, they feel good, so on and so forth. So,
Yeah. Well, my mom makes shirts herself, and she's been asking if she can make some merch, like a mug or something. So I'm sure we'll end up testing out and seeing if that's something we want to pursue further. But absolutely, we'll be having merch, because I host a live stream every other Friday, and I will absolutely at one point have a nice needlessly nostalgic shirt on.
Oh yeah, there you go. I can dig it.
I mean, you got the Dreamcast one, man. I got to be honest. Like,
I'm surprised it didn't get taken down. Honestly,
you won. Well, I was on your stream, the charity stream. I was one of the commenters, and I happened to log in right as Tyler was just like, "Who cares about the Dreamcast?" I was like, "Oh, let me start typing." This guy right here. I got 2 Dreamcasts right over there, man. I got one from $99.99, bro.
I regret, I wish I still had mine, because I thought that was such a great system. It
was great.
It was ahead of its time, and it was just bad timing, though, because of PlayStation 2 and everything else that came out of it. Man, but I just enjoyed the Dreamcast mainly because the library had a lot of arcade games, like Marvel vs. Capcom 2, Soul Calibur, stuff like that.
Soul Calibur, dude, Power Stone, come on. God, people hate the Dream. I
like what Rogue Squadron's fun.
Don't get me started.
Actually, one thing about our merch too. Our co-worker Chris Bumbray just happens to have one of the NerdCage Live shirts that got banned. Because I sent him a shirt. He asked which one he wanted. He goes, "Oh, I want the Nintendo shirt." So Chris has one of the. In fact, I'll go grab it. Chris has the Nintendo logo NerdCage Live shirt, which Nintendo took down. But we have a Nintendo 64 shirt that has not been taken down. And the Dreamcast hasn't been taken down.
I'm sorry, wait, how can they take it down? I mean, isn't this just like...
They message TeePublic and they say this is copyright infringed, and TeePublic takes it down.
No shit. I just figured that it gets small.
We've had a number of companies do it. Warner Brothers is a big one that does it. Metallica.
We know all about Warner Brothers.
Shirts, guys. So here is the one that Chris has.
Lars.
So yeah, this is the NerdCage Live Nintendo shirt. I fucking love this shirt. It got taken down. And then we also have the NerdCage Live Gaming Super Nintendo shirt. That got taken down.
But 64 didn't?
And Nintendo 64
But it's parody.
This is the most heartbreaking. When this shirt went up, we sold 6 shirts in a week. The Batman shirt. Warner Brothers took it down.
Yeah.
So it just sucks.
Don't forget about Lars Ulrich.
Yes. We made a Metallica shirt. We made NerdCage Live in Metallica font. That got taken down by Sony, and I'm just like, well, thanks, Lars.
I was one of the first on the Napster train back in the mid '90s, or was it late '90s? I remember, man. It's like, dude, leave me alone. Let me just give my computer AIDS like everybody else and download this slow song for 4 years. Come on, man. We're all just trying to live life.
Yeah. So putting up stuff on TeePublic it's almost like YouTube, where hopefully we don't get hit with no copyright strikes or claims or nothing like that. The same thing happens on goddamn TeePublic. And I'll go on TeePublic just to browse shirts at random on TeePublic, and I'm thinking to myself, well, how did that shirt not get taken down? How did that shirt get not taken down? It drives me fucking nuts. But like I said, the one that Joe's got on, we're good. Usually what I do is if a shirt's up, if I put up a shirt and if it's there for at least 2 weeks, that's when you're in the clear. Or 2 weeks to a month, and then you're basically in the clear. So... But I've had shirts get taken down immediately. I remember I put up a Rocky related shirt, and I put a Rocky shirt, and I put if he I must break you. Well, no. If he dies, didn't get taken down. I must break you. That got taken down immediately. But I made one that says if he dies, and it's still up. So it's you roll the dice. You basically roll the dice. But like I said, the Metallica shirt got taken down. I don't know, a week or two, and. Nintendo took down those 2 shirts, but our Zelda shirts are still there, and the Nintendo 64 is still there, and Dreamcast is still there. So it's just the PlayStation's still there.
Hopefully IBM doesn't come after us, Lance.
Why would have an IBM? Oh.
That's our logo.
Yeah.
Yeah,
it's free for it's free. It's already that's why it was chosen. It's
and again, we could always evolve our logo as it goes on. You know, I think you even talked about like you know, I believe in eras and seasons. So it's like, yeah, come at us. We're just two nice guys, two Midwesterners, just talking movies, having a good time. Polite.
Once you have a channel, you start talking about like stuff way in the future. Like, hey, if we get this big, we'll do this. We've already had conversations about hiring artists and all different types of shit. So, I mean,
as you should.
You know.
I mean, how about this? If we get big enough, me and Joseph will shave our heads. You know.
I'll donate it to Locks of Love.
That's what I plan on doing with this if we raise enough money for our next charity stream. Speaking of which, I think we have a date solidified now. We're gonna aim for December 14th because December 21st, Tyler, is Fury Usyk 2. So I was like, no way, I am not doing a charity stream the same day as that fight.
Boxing
no
match.
Way. Yes.
Yeah, the only thing I worry about is that's tentatively the same week that I'm trying. I don't know if I'm going to actually end up going or not, but I'm trying to go to the Game Awards. And the problem with that is that I may be on a plane during that day coming back. So
speaking of the Game Awards, Joe, did you catch PlayStation Direct today?
Not yet. I slept a lot today.
Okay, I don't know if anything big was announced, but no, I didn't get any notifications, so I don't think anything like super big got announced. All right, I want to
Silent Hill trailer.
What's it? Was that what we got?
Silent Hill 2 trailer.
Oh, the remake.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yep.
All right, so I want to zero in on Lance since he's new to the channel. So we usually ask these basic bitch questions a lot when we have NerdCage Live guests on here. So Lance, just to get to know you a little bit better, because we already know Tyler, and Tyler's been on our show countless times, including our Planet of the Apes spoiler discussion. But Lance, what would you say? What are your top 5 favorite movies in no particular order?
Oh man, I'm so bad at lists. Okay, I don't know. How about this? I'm gonna give you some movies. Gun in my head, I'm just gonna name a couple. We're gonna say obviously Shawshank Redemption, of course, and before fucking IMDb ever existed. I'm old school. I was watching that, in '95. All right, on VHS. And now this is like, no. I was here before you. Die Hard, of course. Army of Darkness, I put up there. Big Trouble in Little China would be on there as well. Probably Glenn Ross.
Did you say Shawshank?
Yeah, I was bitching about how I was watching that before IMDb ever existed. So like I always feel like
I blacked out.
Yeah. People are like, oh, like the IMDb. I'm like, no, it was before. It's before. And what else? I got this, dude. You picked the
Friday 7.
Yes, Kane Hodder. We have Spiritus from Subspecies 2 and 3. We have Mr. Bernie Lomax, Terry Kaiser. I would say that's a good amalgamation of my personality. A talkie movie, a good horror movie, a fun movie, John Carpenter, a shark, and of course, Andy Dufresne.
Excellent. And we talked a little gaming earlier. Do you have a... You don't have to say any specific. I'll make this one a little easier because there's so many games out there. But yeah, game franchise. Do you have like a top 5 game franchises or like favorite? What games are you into?
Okay, I'm currently playing Fallout 4 on the PS4. I'm digging it a lot. I just watched the show because Tyler got me into it. I've always heard of it, but I never watched it or played it. So I watched it and loved it and played it. I'm a big Sonic guy. There's been a lot of dark times in my life because as much as I love Sonic, most of it sucks. But like an abusive relationship, I keep coming back. I'm like, no, he still loves me. It's okay. So I love Frontiers. I get that. The 2 Zelda games for the Switch and then the Wii U I thought were fantastic. They're fucking brilliant. I grew up in Ocarina of Time. I own a Dreamcast. I own a Sega. Obviously Mario Galaxy, Mario 64, Mario Odyssey. I'm a little more old school that way. Modern games, I consider the Shawshank of video games to be The Last of Us. I never played anything else but the first because the first is the true ending. I don't understand why they would continue. It's like I'm going to murder everybody in that hospital room and I'm going to save the girl, knowing that into the world. That's the end of the series. There's no reason to go on from there. It's like, what, I'm fucking so I can die with a golf club? No, I'm going to murder the nurses, and the doctors, and lie to the girl that I love as the daughter, so the world can end. That's the ending of the series. I'm not going to have any discussion about that. What else? What else, man? What else do I dig? Grease Taxi? I'm a Dreamcast guy, dude. Dreamcast, 64, Sega, fucking Nintendo, Super Nintendo, man. I love the PS2, Twisted Metal 2. That's a fucking great game, dude. I used to play it all the time back in the day, man. Minion, fucking Axel. Great times. I miss youth. I do.
Yeah. We're all in the same boat here. Joe, why don't you tell these guys what we're doing next Saturday, since Lance just mentioned Sonic?
Yes, next Saturday. Well, wait a minute. Talk Friday or Saturday?
We're going. Remember, no, Saturday. The orchestra.
Oh, Saturday is Sonic Symphony. Yes, we're going to New York City to see the Sonic Symphony. Thanks for reminding me, Joe.
Yes.
I mean, as long as we're gonna get the casino song from Sonic 2.
Yeah,
that's all that I care about.
Fingers crossed. Like, play the Sonic 2, Sonic 3 songs. That's what I want to hear the most. Like, I got my fingers crossed. Either way, I'm excited. I mean, I'd much rather go to, like, a Zelda orchestra, but I was like, you know what? I'll go to a Sonic Symphony. Like, I'm like, Joe, this is a once-in-a-lifetime thing. Let's just fucking go. Let's just roll the dice and go. We got good-ass seats. We're in the lower section, like, what, like 10 rows up? Like...
It's too bad you're straight edge. That's the perfect thing to go to on some edibles and just like relax.
Oh, good for you.
And we're going in the afternoon too, so this will be great. We're going at our show starts. There's two shows. There's one at 3 and one at 8. We're going at the 3 o'clock show, so that gives us time to fuck around New York afterwards, grab some food and shit. So I gotta work the next day, but not till like at night. But still, it'll be nice that we'll get to go to the early show at 3 o'clock and then have time to walk around New York for a bit before we leave.
It sounds like a good time, man. Get some good food. I should also, because I'm on your channel, the first 3 Mortal Kombats, I was around the entire time. I played those literally as they came out. The trilogy, like obviously I'm not as comfortable in the later ones, but 1 through 3, man, is part of my life. So you guys do good work. So
favorite
I appreciate
Mortal Kombat character? Who's your main?
I mean, I'm kind of a basic bitch because I was there at the beginning. So like, Scorpion was my guy, just because he was the monster to me. Like, the thing. So how about this? I would say Scorpion and Smoke. Though Smoke is just the Gray Scorpion. If I'm so bad at this. And number 3, was it Cyrax? Was he the scorpion-looking robot?
Yes, the yellow robot. Yep.
Yeah, that's my guy.
Awesome. All right, good choices there.
Yeah, I mean, like I said, basic bitch, but whatever.
But can I just say, Mortal Kombat 9, Ermac.
Yes.
Best.
Yes.
You guys are too cool for me. I don't know what that is.
Yeah, they just released the Homelander trailer like yesterday. Yeah. I'm not wild about guest characters. That's just me. I'm one of those old school people, but I'm looking forward to at least trying out Homelander, and I'm excited for The Boys season 4. I know someone here has seen it already.
I'm sure the community will get back up in arms again, because I don't know if you caught it, but I don't believe that Anthony Starr.
Yeah, it's not. I knew that already.
No, I heard about that. Yeah.
Yeah, Anthony Starr.
But he did voice Call of Duty, which he said.
It was just a writers. It was just a writers and actors strike issue.
Yeah. Well, he takes his character seriously, and he's always kind of in that, I'm an asshole mode. So
yeah, but they got fucking what's his nuts Omni-Man there. They got
J.K. Simmons.
Yeah, J.K. Simmons voiced Omni-Man in the game. So it's like.
Yeah, but I just like when Anthony Starr was questioned about it, he's like, "Well, I did the voice in Call of Duty. Why don't you go play that?" I thought that was good.
And then in Mortal Kombat 11, they got Stallone to do Rambo, but they couldn't get Arnold to do the Terminator. It's like, what the fuck? Like they
it's always about timing.
Yeah.
Did they get Peter Weller to do RoboCop?
Yes, Peter Weller did do RoboCop. And
okay.
Yes.
To be fair, Arnold did do the voice in what's that? The Predator Hunting Grounds. So he did stuff.
I never played that, so.
And WWE 2K something he was in as a Terminator.
Wild, yeah.
Is that WWF?
Shut up, man.
Not that far.
Sorry,
Dude, the whole time that you were going through your shit, I just had to bite my tongue because I wanted to give you shit the whole time. I'm like, nope, this is Lance's time. This is Lance's time.
Well, we give a shit about what? What do we talk about?
No, it's just our dynamic. So I was just like, every time I wanted to be like, but then
you were talking about how
I gave you your time.
WWE shirts are all vanilla and everything. There's only one shirt that I really wanted to get and I never actually ended up getting it, and that's when they did the whole WWF WWE changeover and they did the WWE Get the F Out. that was the slogan I wanted. Well, of course, I was a kid. I want a shirt that has some profanity on it.
Come on, people don't like the OG Austin 316 shirt. Like, that was fucking awesome.
Yeah, I think
kids.
I thought Goldberg had like hilarious fucking shirts, dude. Like,
yeah.
He always had those like funny poses, like
He always had that who's next shit.
Yeah. Okay, I got a question. Okay, I definitely got a question for both of you guys, and this is related to Planet of the Apes and it's related to Zelda. Okay, because I know Lance just mentioned he's a Zelda fan. We all seen Kingdom of the Planet of the Apes. So Tyler and to Lance.
I have not though, but continue.
Yeah, Lance is not.
Oh, well, he can still answer this though. Okay, after the success of Kingdom of the Planet of the Apes, director Wes Ball is doing the Zelda movie for Sony. Does that, and Joe, I want Joe, you can pitch on this too, because I think you've played enough Zelda at this point. Does this give you guys hope coming off of Kingdom of the Planet of the Apes? Do you think Wes Ball is going to be able to do a Zelda movie and make it a successful Zelda movie?
Absolutely. I've been a fan of Wes Ball since Maze Runner, and I think he would be great for that if it gets made, but we'll see if it gets made.
Yeah, and I think on direction he can. The only issue, I don't think it's really an issue with direction that's going to be tough. It's going to be casting, and it's going to be effects.
Yeah, I'm a little nervous about the casting. So
I don't know. Zelda's a vibe game. I think that's what people forget. It's vibe and puzzles. So I guess the question is, okay, so for instance, Sonic, it's cute. Sonic 2 is cute. Mario Brothers, it's cute. And those are cute movies, but like Zelda can't be cute though.
Yeah.
Like, even as cartoony as it can be, Zelda has always kind of been a little more, I believe, on the serious side for being sort of the fantasy aspect. So I don't know. I'm very cynical. So my stance is I'll see when they make the trailer, but I don't believe, I don't know, man. Because the two Nintendo movies have done well, the Nintendo and Sega, the two video game movies have kicked ass in the last decade, have relied on just being fun and cute. And I don't want that for Zelda. Yeah, it doesn't have to be a dark, gritty thing, but like Zelda, I don't know, there's something, I don't know, epic, but epic not in just a blow shit up way, but like in a spiritually epic. The ending of what was the one on the Wii U? Oh my gosh, I mixed them up because I'm playing
Breath of the Wild.
Breath of the Wild.
Oh,
Breath of the Wild. Breath of the Wild, a beautiful ending to me. Beautiful, man. It moved me. I moved in the fucking Zelda game. There's no dialogue.
Yeah.
I'm sitting there like,
I think you've distilled why that like the Zelda games in a very simple way that works well is Zelda is vibes and puzzles. Yeah, and that's probably going to be hard to translate to a movie.
If they pull a George Miller and have little dialogue, sure, but we know they won't. The problem is Zelda can't be super interesting because it needs to be mass produced and marketed. That's my issue. Zelda, for as much as we want to pretend it's just this mainstream game, it is absolutely a vibe game, 100%. It's just walking, exploring. I'd fucking get on my stupid little glider and I'll just hang out for like 20 minutes, just living life, man. Is that gonna work in a movie? I don't know. But I'm the worst person to have on this podcast because I'm just like, that's not gonna work. It ain't gonna work. We need you guys.
I think we can agree. No Tom Holland link.
No,
God, no.
We had Nathan Fillion who did a good job in the fucking shorts, and they were like, well, let's not get him. Let's get. Oh my God! When they ruined Spider-Man, he said, hey, Mr. Stark, I need a suit. It's like that's not my Spider-Man. Who's that little
And
child?
hashtag not my Spider-Man. Yes.
I mean, I'm just gonna say it. I mean, fan casting, Chris Pratt.
Oh,
You're just trolling me. You're just trolling me.
As Zelda.
Oh, it's Zelda. Good, yeah. Well, I mean, that's progressive enough. Let's switch it up. I don't know. We'll see, man. I'm gonna be the guy that says, I think it sucks until you prove me otherwise, because the track record is still not. The house keeps losing. So let's see what happens.
My only
I agree with Scott.
gripe-
Tom Holland is Miami.
More Tom Holland, yeah. It is his boyish real charm.
I was kind of hoping they would go the animated route coming off of the Mario movie,
should.
but they're not. They're going to go live action. So, I mean, they just had $1.3 billion animated movie. I just baffled that they're going to try to do live action. I was hoping they would stick.
Now, here's a question I've always had with live action Zelda. How do you do a live action Zelda and if you go dark and gritty, not make it feel like Lord of the Rings or something?
You'd have to go the legend route with Tom Cruise, but that doesn't exist because that's a very 80s interpretation of fantasy. So you'd have to do that where it's big and epic and but very mystical. I don't think they could.
I'm actually hoping that they use Ocarina of Time as a template. Personally, I think that's the direction they should go in. I know people are going to argue for Tears of the Kingdom and Breath of the Wild or the OG game. I think Ocarina of Time.
I want Link to the Past.
That could work. That's similar to the OG.
That's the last one I played.
I just think the best template would be Ocarina of Time. I think if you're going to capitalize on nostalgia, that's the one to do. I think.
And you have era changes. You have the young Link, and then he becomes like a man or a teenager. That's a good like Lion King type of like growth in terms of a story.
Yeah, they should do the Furiosa style where it's two different actors and you blend the other people's face onto the face.
Yeah, I read about that. They use AI on the little actress to make
it's insane
to have her look more like Anya Taylor-Joy. That was nutty. But
George Miller is a insane mastermind.
Yo. I said I've been clamoring about it all week, but Tyler, you know what I'm talking? That scene with the tanker chase when they got the paragliders, how the fucking camera panned over from one glider to the other. That shit was nutty, dude. Like, oh my god, talk about
Lance. Did you not like the movie?
I thought it was good, but I agree the paraglider scene was cool, but that exact scene kept cutting to like what I would consider the Room-esque green screens a lot, and I'm really surprised that nobody keeps mentioning that. Like I'm sorry, I'm just gonna say I'll be the bad guy here. I'll be the bad guy, guys. It's okay.
Okay.
Furiosa was good. It was a solid movie, good action. Some of the worst green screen I've seen in a movie that isn't Marvel. This is like fucking not Scarlet Witch. What the fuck was that one with what's her face?
Wanda.
Or was it Scarlet Witch?
Talking about Doctor Strange?
The one where Florence Pugh hits the thing and blows up, and it was like rendered like Black Widow. I'm sorry, but the tanker truck scene in Furiosa, there are moments where it looks great, but then there's moments where where they're on top and they have the little guy and the little hatch is supposed to press the button, which is adorable. I actually loved him. But there's points like that where I'm like, this green screen is so bad, I could have done it in my basement. And I guess when I rewatch it, I'm going to buy it, I think I'm being grumpy, and let me be grumpy, but I just think that Fury Road, with a similar budget, blended those sort of mixing effects better, where this, I could tell the hard line of like, that's somewhat practical, and this is on a fucking studio. Or if it's not, then why does it look like the background is made in, I don't know, Windows 98?
I agree that Fury Road was better. I'll give you that. But
I'm talking in terms of look.
Yeah.
Like, really, the little girl was good. Anya Taylor-Joy was good. We're going to talk about the best fucking part, which is Hemsworth. Hemsworth and his Cardi mustache. And that guy fucking stole the show. I was all about it.
Yeah, Hemsworth was great. You could tell he was having fun. And it was cool to see him as a bad guy for once.
As you should, yeah.
And in his natural, not natural accent, because he goes a little insane with it, but he
said,
actually gets to speak in his Australian accent.
He copied his grandfather. He said he copied his grandfather's accent, is what he said.
Okay, I was fascinated because I know he's Australian, but he was doing a very specific
80s
dialect, or not dialect, but like, for instance, like Joseph.
It's called Bogan.
Joseph has a different accent than I do. I could pick up on his vowels. You know, I could tell that you guys are more East Coast.
Yeah.
So I was picking up on Hemsworth doing a different style Australian accent than his natural one. I'm like, ooh, where's that from? But if it's his, you said uncle or I'm sorry,
his grandfather. Yeah, his grandfather.
I like that. So that's a different regional accent, and he's faking. You know, it's like if Tyler were to fake a New Orleans accent. It's like I find that fascinating because like if you're in your own country, switching between, but. You know, Hemsworth is good. So
Dude,
I liked it. It was good.
Remember Samara Weaving and her Australian accent? Because it's the girl from the opening of Scream 6, where she's like, it's like, whoa, you would not expect that kind of Australian, because she sounds like more, I would call it hillbilly Australian.
I mean, I know she's Australian, but like she tends to fake weird American accents. So I guess I'm more thrown off by her weird American accent. Same as what's his face from Abigail. I know me and you talked about Abigail on air, I think.
Yeah, Dan Stevens. That accent is awful.
I love it because like I love when people try to be New York or Boston without having any comprehension of like the little intricacies in the language. And I could do a better New York accent than Dan Stevens, but having Dan Stevens be like, God, I was like, oh, you're cute. You watched
I agree that he was the worst part of that movie. And I come at me, Tyler. I enjoyed the movie. It wasn't great, but it was fun. It was a fun movie. But yeah, that Dan Stevens was
As a New Yorker, you guys should be taking offense to that shit. Please, for me.
We're not the city slicker New Yorker type.
It doesn't matter. You still have that.
Our friend Drew Stone is though, but yeah.
I hear the accent in both your voices.
Yeah, but we're a good solid 4 hours from New York, so we don't have that,
Yeah, you're thinking Long Island.
Yeah.
You don't have the guy that was there.
Who's the guy that was on with us for Kingdom of the Planet of the Apes?
That was our buddy Drew Stone. Yep.
Oh yeah, he's super New Yorker.
He's from Brooklyn. He lives in Manhattan, so he's definitely got
that guy was great.
Hardcore guy. So like he definitely has that. Shout out to Drew Stone. Everybody should subscribe to Stone Films NYC, the New York Hardcore Chronicles. Give him a shout out. He interviews everybody. Just recently interviewed one of the dudes from Minor Threat. He just interviewed Sal Abrascato from Typo Negative. Yeah, dude, Drew's the fucking man. And he's kind of responsible for bringing Biohazard back together. So hats off to Drew. Back on Furiosa, I want to kind of segue to something. This is something I've been chopping at the bit to talk to you guys all week about, since we have our JoBLo guys in here. Furiosa coming off a not-so-stellar box office, which baffles me. Me and Tyler were talking about it. It just baffles us. Is there cause for concern, cause to pause right now? Like, do you guys fear the future of movie theaters and the box office? Because I felt it was just kind of odd that the box office was the lowest it's been since Return of the fucking Jedi in 1983.
I would say the thing that scares me the most is the fact that the younger generations don't really seem to care about movies that much. They like much more short form content. So that aspect really does concern me, because movies are my life. And so like, I understand that we are definitely like the bubble's popping in terms of content because of streaming. But like, I'm just hoping it doesn't pop too much, because I still want to go to the theater to see a $200 million film. But I'm pretty worried that those days are going to be fewer and farther in between. I think we're going to see a lot more reasonably budgeted movies and re-releases and concert movies in theaters, and going to see the Jake Paul, Mike Tyson fight. It's going to be stuff like that theaters are doing, where they're trying to bring a different communal thing, because I am very much concerned about like the big budget blockbuster, but I think theaters will be around.
Yeah, I think I'm going to play a little devil's advocate here, because I didn't actually see Furiosa yet, but Furiosa has a marketing problem, because they marketed it as like, they went hard in this is side content. Like, this isn't, your continuity of the actual franchise. This is kind of, here's a movie on the side. And it throws people off to where they're like, well, I want to see the next edition of the actual movie. I don't care about the side content. I can watch that later. So there's a lot of people that were probably just taken back as, oh, well, if this isn't an actual iteration of the franchise, then I may just skip it. You know what I mean? Because there's a lot of people that people are very busy these days without reason to be. And it just takes them out of going to see these films because it's like, well, I got shit to do, So if it's not something that's a main entry, they usually skip it. The other thing is the creativity crisis we have in Hollywood right now, where it's season of the reboots. Everybody wants the 80s back. And it's like, you're never going to be able to make the movie in such a way that it was impactful back then, because you're having to flip it all into CGI and everything else, and it just kind of waters it down. So it gives them the easy way out. We don't have to think of anything new. We'll just capitalize on the old success. And it's like, it works, but it's not going to work forever. So I think those are the two biggest issues with movies right now.
That was well said. Very well said, Joe. Definitely love that input. But Lance, I know you're a diehard movie guy. I just definitely want to get your take on everything, because like I said, it was mind blowing to see those numbers roll in over the weekend. Wait, what?
I'm going to say it. The theater experience is dead, and I'm going to say what nobody wants to talk about. Theaters don't give a shit. I haven't been in a movie in the last 5 years, 10 years, where somebody didn't have their phone out, somebody didn't talk, the sound wasn't fucking low or mixed wrong, or the screen or the projection was off. I mean, I've had 3D movies I've seen where I just walked out. I'm going to say this. Tyler's right. Younger kids are not into this stuff. It's true. Younger kids don't play video games. Younger kids watch people play video games. That to me is just it's a different era. They put The Sopranos on Twitch, and they cut The Sopranos in like 1 million little pieces so that people could watch The Sopranos. That says it, man. My hope in life is not that theaters continue the way they are. I actually want them all to die. Fuck them. Let them burn. I want Elmo draft houses. I want music boxes. I want theaters that care. I want theaters that will kick you out for using your fucking cell phone or talking. I want theaters are going to end up being Broadway. That's where we're going. I don't care what people say. They're like, oh, we'll be fine. No, it's done. It's already done. There's no going back. The best we can get is curated, good old-fashioned storytelling in the theater setting on these specific art house theaters. That's it, man. Because the only thing that makes money is superhero movies. We're not going to make another Lethal Weapon ever again. It's not going to be in theaters. It's going to go on Netflix. We're not going to. Fury Road says the end of Mad Max. Simple as that. We might get another one down the road, but Miller will be dead. He's not going to finish off his Wasteland trilogy.
Yeah.
It's sad, but it's also, you can't put big budget movies out anymore. We're not in the same culture. And people are like, theaters will come back. It's like, no, they won't. I go to theaters. I see people talking, think about their fucking phones, and nobody cares. I walked out of, oh my gosh, what was the third Bond film with Craig? Skyfall. I walked out and I went to the theater. I got the manager. I was like, there's 4 people talking, just living life. I want them out. And the guy's like, we don't do that. I could give you your refund. I'm like, well, you're not going to kick them out. He goes, we don't kick people out. I go, all right, thank you. God bless. I'm out. Fuck off. Suck a dick. Sorry.
Can I just say too that because I go to like a movie a week essentially, and one thing that I've noticed is that I feel like the younger generation is fairly decent about this, but it's more of like Gen X and boomers. And I think it's because they didn't have to go through having cell phones in school, so they don't know how to hide their phone. So they're the ones that come in with the brightness all the way turned up and like on their phone during the previews and stuff. But I've sat next to like a 14-year-old girl that was on her phone the entire movie. Didn't notice once because she had it brightness all the way down. It was like in her lap where I couldn't see it in my peripherals, where it's like whatever. You have that big of an issue, fucking whatever. As long as I don't see it, I don't give a shit. It's those fucking, I've seen multiple like 40s and 50-year-old people who are like on Facebook where I'm like, what? You're in the movie. Fuck off.
People should be banned. I want banning back. When I worked at the movie theater in high school, I would go with a flashlight, I'd shine your eyes, but get out now, you and you out. And I go to my manager, like, hey, I asked them to leave. They told me to go to hell. I don't know what's going on. Got them all out. I'm sorry, but like there's no respect. We're the last generation that cares about storytelling. That's what nobody wants to talk about. It's like the theater experience. It's like I go for stories. The guy next to me goes because he has nothing to do, or this is the new mall. The malls are dead. So where do people go to hang out? Movie theaters. We let people eat food, get fucking fried chicken. We have all sorts of things to do. It's like I'm there to watch the movie, man. I want to watch Furiosa. I'm not there because let's hang out. I don't know. I'm far more cynical because I've been going to the theater since my first movie was Army of Darkness, and that was 1992. So I was 6 or 7. No, I don't know.
And if you want to get some more Lance's movie experiences, check out Needlessly Nostalgic.
Yeah, I'm gonna yell at myself right now and lump myself into the enemy group.
No, Joe.
Because people with YouTube channels like ours will go to the movie specifically to cover this movie. So we'll be on social media in the beginning of the movie, toting, hey, live stream to follow, blah, 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 blah. But to be fair, I only do that during the previews when it doesn't fucking matter.
Okay, no, we're talking only movie. I'm not going to fight you on the previews. That's life. But once the movie starts, the lights go down, no cell phones.
Exactly.
I don't care if your kid's being kidnapped. It's like,
I won't even agree with you on that, Lance. I think fucking movie theater, you should, like, phone should not be out.
That knock out the phone cell service as soon as the movie starts.
I agree. Brilliant idea, Joe.
People have to look at, so I went to see Force Awakens. I saw it the opening night. I think it was I went to Matson, or who knows where it was. It was somewhere in the south suburbs, right? And I went with my friends. It was sold out. And my friend brought another guy, and he was telling me, he goes, I have to check my phone because my kid's being babysat, and if there's an emergency, I need to check. And I thought, go home. You need to be here. I don't give a shit about your kid. Go home. Like, you don't deserve this. Like, then don't watch the movie. If you're afraid, if your kid's going to be killed or murdered or kidnapped in 90 minutes or 2 hours, then just go home. I'll let you know the movie was.
What did you leave your kid
Dude,
with?
Halloween ends. It's like 5 minutes before the movie starts. A couple comes in with their baby. This is the, like, I don't know, it's like 9 o'clock showing. Opening night, and I was just like, what the fuck? Like, no, you guys don't get to come to opening night. Fuck off. Like, you made the mistake of having this kid.
I had a somewhat similar experience not that long ago. So I was lucky enough to see Sonic 2 like a week before it came out. We over in Regal in Syracuse. We have Regal, by the way. I just want to throw that out there right now. Regal had the Sonic 2 premiere, but the premiere was in 4DX. So you know where I'm going.
You poor guy. So yeah, it's all just like
I love the 4DX experience. I do, depending on the movie. Excuse me, depending on the movie. Anyway, went to go see Sonic 2, but apparently everybody else in the theater did not know what 4DX was. And of course, Sonic 2 brings in the little kiddies, the parents and the kids and whatever. They weren't aware of what 4DX was, so as soon as the seats started moving, the kids started crying. Oh, I was so pissed off. I'm like, oh, God, here we go. I was this close to getting up and yelling at this, say, like, get your kids out of here, shut up. Like, shut your kids up. Like, I was this fucking close. I was like, oh. Like, so I know where, like, Tyler's coming from, the frustration of the crying babies and shit. Like, no, there's no room for that. But the thing is, I think it was more so that these families weren't aware of what 4DX was. Like, they just wanted to go to the Sonic premiere.
I would pay double ticket price if they had the rule of you can report people and they'll get kicked out.
If they kick people out of movie theater, I would literally tip the usher. I'd be like, hey, yo, buddy, over here. This time is for you. Put it in the pocket, like, oh, yeah. No,
I saw Kingdom of the Planet of the Apes for my second viewing, and there was a group of 3 guys behind me that legitimately said more words during the movie than the actual dialogue on the screen, to the point that literally this is a good example of what was going on. There's text at the beginning of the movie, and the guy's like, "Oh, this new Star Wars looks different." And then more text comes up, and he's like, "Oh, when's Luke Skywalker showing up?" Where it's like, this is not your fucking living room. Like, I paid for a ticket. Shut the fuck up.
Thanks, Theater 3000. Oh my gosh.
Yeah, and you're not funny, so quit making. And they did it for every. If there was silence, which, you guys know, not Lance, but there's a lot of silence in that movie. So then every time, so I had to move. I had to move down a couple seats because it was just like, nope, I'm not doing this. Which thankfully in IMAX, you move
your
down.
theater like because we're where we are at Regal? Our local theaters don't do this, but the Regal theaters do, where you have to buy your seat like specific assigned seat.
Assigned seating. So you
Good, I love it.
So you're stuck next to these people.
Oh, that's when you just.
Thankfully, I moved like it was probably 25 minutes into the movie, and it was like a day showing because that's always what I try to do because I have a weird job, so I can do those. So and it wasn't opening night, so I was just able. I just got up and moved. But yeah, usually I wouldn't do that because it'd be like, nope, this is my seat, which has absolutely happened in the past where it's like, crap, I just have to deal with this. Especially opening night horror crowds are awful. Like the worst behaved. If as someone that has, I see a lot of stuff for work that it's all fucking horror that's just bad crowds.
Yeah, like let's say you go to a movie and the guy this isn't like opening night or anything. The movie's been out for a while, and you go there and you're sitting next to a guy that has seen this movie 7 times. He knows everything that's going on in the movie, and he's constantly elbowing you. Hey, check this part out. This is going to be great. It's like, dude, can you just shut up and let me watch the movie, please? Like, you get those every once in a while. Me and Jay had one of those guys. Remember that tattooed guy?
Oh, God.
That was sitting next to us that just wouldn't shut up?
Yep.
Yeah.
I wouldn't even know what to do. I'd be like, do I know you? Am I getting robbed?
Yeah,
what are you talking
You're
about?
his best friend or something. I don't know you.
I had this guy at Lisa Frankenstein. He brought his like 6-year-old kid. It's like opening night at Lisa Frankenstein, and like which like
keep in
that's
mind
not
you
kid's
see a
movie
penis
anyway.
get chopped in the movie, but okay, let's keep going.
Yeah, and he's like trying to talk to me beforehand, where I'm not engaging in this. Like I don't like talking before. Like I'm in the movie. Like I'm watching all the shit that's going on. Quit talking to me. And like this guy, he was like. And like to the point, like the kid, he had to like tell the kid to be quiet because he was getting scared. Where it's like, yeah, because he's 6 and he shouldn't be seeing this movie. Like, why is he here? That again, I'm making Lance's point for him, but I still go to the movies.
Yeah. All right. So if we're gonna fix the theaters, the ushers got. So Lance, but your solution is Lance and Tyler to agree that. The ushers need to fucking put the foot down on obnoxious people to make the theater going experience better for everybody else.
Yes, because nobody's making money, so they're not kicking people out because they can't get rid of customers. But the theater experience is shitty, so nobody's going. Again, Chicago has a music box. Texas has the Elmo Draft House. They exist. Those I think are the future. I don't think AMC is the future. I think AMC is essentially the last bastion of the mall, and that needs to die.
Yeah.
I don't need people who don't give a shit seeing movies. And if that changes the structure from them getting made, then fine. But in the end, we're not making interesting movies anymore anyway, to a level that I care about. So how about we just kill off these sort of posers that just go to the movies to hang out and just go for the sake of going, and let's bring back storytelling. Let's bring back the $40 million movie.
Over franchise theaters.
Yeah.
And one thing I want to add to, now I don't think this is out of the theater's control though, but I think one thing that would help is they need to make the window longer. When I'm talking about from theater to streaming, they need to make that window longer because now shit is going on streaming like 2 weeks. Like look at Fall Guy. Like Fall Guy went to fucking streaming like 2 weeks after, like video on demand, like 2 weeks after it came out. They need to find a way, some kind of agreement where they need to make because a lot of people are just like, well, I'm not gonna go see the movie because it's gonna be on HBO Max in a couple of weeks, or it's gonna be on HBO Max in the month. They need to find a way to make the window longer from theater to streaming. They need to find a way. I don't know if it's ever gonna happen though, but they need to find out a way to make the window longer.
That only works if they fix the theater first. Because as far as I'm concerned, I'll wait the 4 months because fuck you, I'm not gonna go pay $25 to have somebody talk, and then I go, hey, kick him out. They go, oh, we don't do that. We'll just give you your money back. So I'm like, so I'm inconvenienced, but I lose. So I think, because I agree with you, the theater window is too short, but it's too short because theaters have given up their leverage. You've lost. It's like they don't give a shit. So as far as I'm concerned, why pay 20 and talk? I'll just wait it out here. So I think that you're right, but that could only work if you fix the theaters as well, because if people go back and everybody's talking and the sound is low and the projection's not calibrated correctly, then what's it really matter? It's like, well, then I'll just wait anyway because my HDTV is going to show your stupid movie a lot better than, the guy you're paying $8 an hour to fucking hit play in the projection booth that doesn't even know what he's doing.
Counterpoint.
What?
Immaculate just released to streaming, and everyone is talking about how dark it is, to the point that the director even had to release a statement saying, I'm so sorry, this is not how it's intended to be seen. The compression on streaming is really bad. I don't know why it's like this. And so then it's like, well, at least the theatrical experience, you're getting like what's intended for the most part.
If the theater does it well.
Yeah.
Theater's best of the stuff. But let me counterpoint you with this. How often do you watch movies on streaming?
All the time.
Oh, I never do. I watch a digital copy, but that's not streaming. Streaming is through like Netflix or Hulu. I never watch any movie through streaming.
Actually, I watch more shows on streaming than movies. If you want the honest truth, that's just me.
Well, Plex is not compressed through Netflix. That's essentially the raw file that we're watching. I'm saying, I think as cinemaphiles that we don't experience that. I feel bad for people that are having that experience, but I'm pretty sure that the one that I'm going to see via a friend of mine with long hair from Michigan, I'm assuming it's going to look a lot better than what people are seeing, no?
Yeah, I would assume. But I don't know. I haven't watched Immaculate. I only saw it in theaters. I haven't watched the digital copy, so I only just saw the article like earlier today. I was like, oh.
I'll watch it, and then if I'm wrong, I'll come back next time, guys, and I'll admit I'm wrong, because that's fair. If I'm wrong, I'm wrong.
Andrew watched that copy. Andrew watched that copy, and he didn't say, oh, it's super dark, so I'm going to say it's fine.
Hey, Joe, get that from Shay in the chat.
I was going to say, Shay does have a obvious point that we've been overlooking too, and that's the damn prices for some of the shit in the corporate theaters and everything have tripled since the days we used to go as a kid. We used to go to a movie that was like $10 or less.
That's the only way theaters make money, though.
$26 for a movie, and then the food prices, you get a drink for like $10.
But the thing is, theaters don't make money off the tickets. They make money off the concessions. That's why they're so fucking high.
They do make money off the tickets. That's actually not. It's only they have a percentage.
Yeah, that's good. But the majority of it goes to the studios, though.
Yeah, but it's they still. I want to say they still take home 20. Is it 20, Lance? Yeah, if you know.
Theaters get very little. If it's 20, that's awesome, but it's very little. I saw Furiosa with my wife, and I want to say altogether tickets were $35 for two people, and then we each got a beer because I don't know, I'm that guy, I guess. But here's the thing. I'm a little more sympathetic to prices. My issue has been
service,
the attitude. Exactly. Like I'll pay more. The Music Box in Chicago. I could go see a movie for like $10, $11, and everybody shuts up. So I guess my argument is, I'll pay the $35, and I don't have kids, so I should also be very clear. Like I think that does affect a lot of people. A lot of people have kids,
families,
and I'm very sympathetic. And babysitters, so like to them, it's like, yeah, a night to the movies is a big deal. But I think those people agree with me. Where if I'm wanting to go to the movie, then if you have your cell phone out, I get to take your cell phone and keep it. I get a present, and then you get kicked out. That's my issue. It's like I'll pay money. I saw Hedwig at a theater in Chicago. I think it was the Lyric Theater. Nobody talks. Now, why? Why don't people talk in a Broadway theater, or not Broadway, but off Broadway? Why don't people talk? Why do they have respect for the actors? I'm confused. I thought we're just hanging out. It's because there's
consequences.
There's consequences, but it's also just like you when you go to see a play, you're like, you shut your mouth. That is the atmosphere you go into. I want that with movies. where I want people to go to see a story, not to hang out. I think that's my issue.
Yeah,
I'm
I guess in
old enough where-
Japan, like they have really, really strict rules. Like it's like you can't even like applause or like they like, you can't make a sound.
Good. Don't even smile. I want you stone faced. Watch the movie. Cry outside like an adult. Cry in your car.
Lance, I have a question for you because I can't remember what actor this was, but I recently saw some actor say he was like, I don't even want you to like eat your popcorn before the movie. Like that should all be done before the movie because I don't want to hear your chomping during that. Where I was like, oh shit, I didn't realize that was a thing people don't like.
I'm actually against food in movies. Like I'm not against popcorn, but like anything outside of candy and popcorn, like a meal, I hate. I hate. People are like, let's get a burger or some food. It's like, no, you have dinner before the movie. You're not having dinner. Like there's in the suburbs of Chicago, I forget what it's called, but there's a theater that would like serve you food during the movie. I can't think of the name right now. I saw Back to the Future that way, and I was excited because it sounded fun. And then I realized that like I got some waiter being like, "Is everything okay?" I'm like, "I'm trying to watch Martin McFly get back to 1985. Fucking move over, man."
Counterpoint.
No counterpoints here.
I've been in Alamos that do that. But my theater, they bring you it when the movie starts, and like you can't order. Like if you're ordering, you can't like order from your seat, anything like that. Yeah.
Listen, maybe you do well. I just don't like the idea of people like having a meal watching a movie because at this point it's like you gotta get a blowjob too. Are we just gonna go all the way? I mean, what are you coming home?
Yes.
Don't take that away from us. Come on.
I drink before.
I know. I get it. Like I can see where you're coming from. Like I've personally never. I'm one of those guys that sneaks food in, but like if I sneak anything,
not sneaking snake in.
But like it's candy or popcorn. I sometimes I'll have like a coupon for a free popcorn, or I'm like, hey Joe, you can eat the rest of that? Great, I'll take it. Like like I'd never gone outside of candy and popcorn in the theater. I've never had like fucking nachos and fucking
like in a
steak
meal,
and burgers.
yeah.
I mean, but I will say this though: I love going out to eat after a movie, but I just can't see myself getting all these meals during the movie. I'm kind of with you on that. I like to go out to eat after the movie.
How good is the food in a theater? Like, are we just gonna pretend it's good? To me, it's like, how sad is that? People are like, not only am I annoyed that you're eating a lot of food, making noise, but like, I also pity you. I pity your taste. I pity you as a person. It's like, you're getting a burger at the theater. Like, do you not know what food is? Are you new here? Should I explain to you the concept of the hierarchy of better food, okay food, and bad food? Like, if you're eating theater food, then like, do you need to talk? Like, are you okay?
Dude, my theater sells funnel cake fries, and they're some of the best things you'll ever taste in your life. So I'm just saying.
Why are you getting funnel cake fries outside of an amusement park?
Exactly. I just learned about it like 2 months ago, and I've gone to that theater for 2 years.
I don't know if I don't like that. I don't like that. That's like.
I don't understand how people eat anything at all in a 40X film. You're sitting there juggling popcorn.
Oh yeah, 40X. Yeah, forget it. Like forget it. If you're seeing a 40X film, don't even bring a drink. Like.
Yeah.
I am just petrified. Like, what if someone dies? Like, what if some like fat diabetic has a heart attack? Like. In the middle of a movie with the seats moving and shit, like.
And the movie killed a man and gets a great statement. It's like, don't go see Sonic 2. It killed a man, you know.
Well, depending on how big the person is we're talking about, the seats may not be moving.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, it's like Dumb and Dumber. It's like, I thought the Rocky Mountains would be a little rockier than this, you know.
Yeah.
Well, like I said, Furiosa was like a must in 40X. Like, it was awesome.
Yeah.
40X.
I do have a kind of a last bastion question. Like, how do you feel about like drive-ins that are like there's some that are, but like drive-in theaters and stuff, because it takes that element of this person's talking, but they're in their car, they can't hear them, so it's a little bit
My parents actually, there's a drive-in like 5 minutes from their house, and like I grew up probably 15 minutes away from that because they're in a different house now. But like, so I had access to a drive-in my whole childhood, and like, I feel really bad for those that did not, because it is such a fun experience. And it's so like, I have so many different times of like either with family or friends where it's just a really good bonding time. I saw Terminator Salvation like 5 times in theaters because it played there. It was like the second movie for so many times where then it would just be like, hey, we're meeting up at the drive-in, and I'd look and see, and it's like, oh, I guess I'm seeing Terminator Salvation again.
But I've never been to it. Like, well, it's in Oswego.
Well, it's in Auburn, but yeah.
Away. But like, I've never been to it. I've never been to it, but we do have one. I guess
so
it's like,
cool.
It's like one of like 20 some odd theaters, like drive-in theaters left in the country. And it's just like, oh wow. But I've never been to one.
I think there's
one nearby.
I think there's 120. I think there's 120 last.
Yeah, it's not a lot. So there's basically 2 per state, basically.
Yeah, I'd like to see
pretty much.
I'd like to see a comeback for drive-in theaters, personally.
Yeah, I thought 2020 would have brought him back. I didn't.
Yeah, you would think, because that's like that's social distancing 101. There, stay in your fucking car.
We had 2 pop up in Michigan because of COVID, and they're still going.
You guys got me beat. I've only seen one movie in the drive-in my life, so that wasn't a part of my existence. I wish it was, though. I like the idea of it, especially as a Joe Bob fan. The vibe of a drive-in seems to be more my vibe, so I'm like, I missed it, man. I missed it.
Same. My dad always tells the story of how he saw the first 3 Friday the 13th movies at that drive-in. They did like a triple feature. It's like,
I'm getting nostalgic for a memory I never even had. I'm like,
I know. Every time he tells it, I'm like, just tell me every detail of it.
Yeah, living vicariously through.
Grandpa, how were movies in your time?
Probably better.
Yeah.
Probably better.
All right. Well, listen, I respect everybody's time here. It's getting close to 9:30 here in the East Coast. So here's what we're gonna do. We're gonna wrap things up. But everybody in the chat, I want to have these guys plug in because earlier we didn't have anybody in the chat, but now what we do. So obviously I want these guys to plug in Needlessly Nostalgic one more time, what it is and where everybody can find you guys and why everybody needs to listen to your podcast. And while these guys are doing that, the bar is closing, guys. So if anybody in the chat here has any questions for our handsome fucks that are here tonight, by all means, ask away. The bar is closing, so whoever wants to go, just explain Needlessly Nostalgic. Go, Tyler, Lance, whoever wants to go.
Tyler, he's smarter.
He always makes me do the plugs.
I got long, gorgeous hair, buddy. Go for it. Look at me.
Yeah, because I was gonna. Well, I guess they can. But I guess they can see me. I was gonna say because this is an audio thing, but never mind. I guess we are being shown. Needlessly Nostalgic is a podcast that Lance and I host that. We first covered the Friday the 13th franchise. It's various movies. So we just want to talk. Every episode is a different movie that we're covering. Now we're in the John Carpenter filmography. It's called John Carpenter Extravaganza, and we were having an absolute blast. Tomorrow's episode, which they all release every Friday at 8 a.m. Tomorrow's episode is actually Escape from LA, and Lance and I really get into it. So I think it's definitely a good one to listen to because
you love it. You love it.
Yeah, it's always a blast when either one of us gives the other one a lot of shit. And Lance was constantly shocked in that episode. So I mean, I knew going into it because I knew I liked the surfing stuff. So I was like, I know I'm gonna have a good ringer here. But yeah, we're always having a fun time. And also, you guys can keep an eye out because we are doing Carpenter's gonna last us through October. But we will be doing a very special Waterworld episode this summer, so.
Excellent. And by the way, everybody, the links are in the description here. You can catch them on Amazon, Spotify, wherever you get podcasts. Again, links are in the description. Also, give Needlessly Nostalgic a follow on Instagram and follow these dudes on Twitter and Instagram as well. That's where you can find them. And of course, be sure to check all their work on JoBLo Originals and JoBLo Horror. These guys are also they're my co-workers on JoBLo, so be sure to check out their work there. Links in the description to that as well.
Check me out tomorrow night on the Friday Night Frights on the JoBLo Horror Originals.
Yes. Yeah, JoBLo's finally going live. They're live streaming every Friday now, and Tyler goes live every other Friday on Horror Originals. So check that out. I will be tuning in. But be sure to check.
And we're going over Friday the 13th, so should be awesome.
Yes. It's gonna be a great time. It's definitely a great time, and like I said, I'll just say I listen to these nostalgic. I'm currently on the vampires. That's where I'm at right now. I'm still playing catch up because I have so many podcasts to listen to. But I'm almost there. I'm on vampires right now. But
you hear me sound like a robot.
It's fun. It's a great listen, guys. I'm not just saying that. It's a great listen. And I feel like it's a good extension of JoBLo. Like JoBLo, you only get, you get yourself like a, 8-9 minute video. This is an extension. This is a long 30, 40, 1 hour discussion of going at it over a movie. And it's great stuff. So please subscribe to these guys. Make it a part of your podcast listening platform. And, make it part of your daily routine. Not only these guys are like cool dudes and they're my friends, but they're very talented content makers as well, so be sure to sub them up. And yes, Scott said he followed, so there we go.
Thank you so much, Scott.
Joe, let's plug in our past shows and what we got coming up. So Joe, Apes.
Yes, if you haven't already, check out our Kingdom of the Planet of the Apes spoiler discussion.
Our latest video.
Yes, our food review of the Star Wars Blue Milk from Trumu.
And Sunday afternoon, Joe, on Twitch.
Yes, Jay will be doing a challenge edition run of Super Metroid.
I'm going to go for this. 0 deaths, 0 saves, 1 sitting under 3 hours. I think I can do it. I think I can do it. We're going to see Samus strip off her armor. We're going to do it under 3 hours with no deaths, no saves. I know I can fucking do it. I've never done it before, but I know I can do it. And then Joe, tentatively on Tuesday.
Yes, more Bayonetta 2.
Yeah, oh my god, it's been a fun playthrough. By the way, thank you to everybody who came to Wednesday's Bayonetta stream. That was a fucking blast, and we're all talking about the Resident Evil rumors and shit, and then, talking about fucking dongs and whatever from fucking, what was that, Dante's Inferno. That was fun. And then, Joe, next Friday, Smash!
Yes, Super Smash Bros. Brawl, the Subspace Emissary Story Mode.
Yes. And of course, if you haven't already, get yourself a NerdCage Live t-shirt like the one Tyler is wearing, like the one Joe is wearing. Again, any size, any color, whether if you're skinny, booty collar, fat fuck, big or small, we love them all. We even got hoodies, magnets, pillows, you name it. We go from small all the way to 5XL. By the way, let's go New York Rangers. I don't know if they won tonight or not. And again, the Public is in the link of every video in the description, and of course across all social media. And speaking of social media, Joe.
Yes, if you want to get us on Twitter or Instagram, both handles are at nerd_cage. Our link to our Discord is in the description. Become a member there as well. And our Facebook discussion group, that is NerdCage Nation. We love everything you guys put up there. No spoilers, no politics, and for God's sakes, keep it civil.
Yes, and we appreciate everybody's support and whatnot. And I'll just say it right now, we will be back next Thursday. I just don't have the thumbnail ready, but next Thursday we'll be rejoined by Sean Wick of JT's Reborn, and of course making his NerdCage Live debut, Tavia Smoka. He reviews comic books and movies. He's got over 1,000 subscribers and whatnot. We're really excited to have him. He's been a strong supporter of NerdCage for a while now, so we're looking forward to having him on. So yeah, we're gonna have him and Sean next week. And then hopefully we have more stuff to announce, something like Rocky related. So we'll have some announcements coming up in the coming days here. I just didn't have the thumbnail ready. Your boy's busy doing deliveries at night and making content for like interviews and everything else here. So I've been really busy, but yeah, there will be a live stream next Thursday, and we will be on Twitch this weekend and Tuesday and next weekend. We still have content rolling out, guys. Again, thank you to everybody's support here. Again, we're closing on 3,200 subscribers. Let's get to 4,000 by Christmas. I think we can do it. Once again, thank you to our folks here from Needlessly Nostalgic. Check them out. Great podcast. So for the meantime, we previously asked you to like, comment, subscribe, ring that bell, spread that shit like syphilis. So to USA, from yours truly, the land of the orange of Syracuse, to all of our friends and family around the world, at NerdCage Live and Needlessly Nostalgic. As always, enjoy life, stay safe, eat your vegetables, do your push-ups, go to the gym, all that good stuff. Good night, God bless, and have the best day of your life.
Good night.
And stick around for our awesome Twitch promo. And booyah.
NerdCage Live and gaming are a perfect match.
Shoot the J, Joe.
Okay.
Shoot it!
All right.
Over on NerdCage Live on Twitch, Jay and Joe go live.
Call me Bazooka Joe.
It's all about you.
Kaboom! Playing both old school and new school games every Tuesday night. Ooh, what a sight!
Jay, stop looking at her face and run.
But she's so beautiful!
So be sure to follow NerdCage Live on Twitch.
Run for your life, Joe! Run for your life, Joe!
Running!
Run faster! Oh no, Joe! The galaxy's doomed because of you!
To scratch your gaming.
Yo!
That's twitch.tv/NerdCageLive.
Ooh, trying to get out of the nerd cage, are ya? Well, before you go, hit that subscribe button. And if you're really intrigued, ring that bell. Thank you for dropping by. Until next time, tell everyone you know about NerdCage Live! Ah!